Ladies and gentlemen in the crypto space, welcome. It is 11:58 a.m. on Thursday, August 27th. What does that even mean? I think I've said it every day this week. End of August. Some serious stuff going on at the U.S. China geopolitics. What a hot mess. Federal Reserve. And that's kind of what this topic is today. It's our starter topic. Before I even say a word, let's take a look at the chat and see who's in the room. We got Kel in the house all the way from Norway. I love it. Love those photos, man. Scripps in the house. Always a pleasure. Paul, Berlin, my man. I love it. Europe. Oh, did you buy the Just Nibble? What's up? All right. We're going to talk about how stupid the federal government thinks we are. The Fed commits to inflation. These people are so far departed from reality. When you hear the word inflation, it's synonymous with devaluation. I don't understand how they stand there and speak as they do the words that they do. They must, it must be the case that the general public does not understand the words that these people say, and they probably don't even see or get a chance to view the words that they say. It's like, a million people that work at Walmart that are at work at 9 a.m. are probably not stopping their morning shift to put on YouTube and watch Jerome Powell at the Federal Reserve talk. So the people that make decisions, the most meaningful decisions that affect that person's life, that person that works at Walmart that doesn't know that Jerome Powell's talking on YouTube live to them. There's such a disconnect there. That drives me nuts. You know why that even drives me nuts even more? Because it's so fucking obvious, but it's just no one knows about it. Like me, I think there was 10,000 people, I believe, waiting to watch the speech when it started. 10,000 people. We're a country of 378 billion people. 370 million people right now? 10,000 people might as well be zero. So, how are we going to make our country better if the general public doesn't care? Or should they care? Or shouldn't they care? Anyway, the point is, what this guy got up there and said was, we're going to make it more damn expensive for you to go shopping, to get food, to buy a car, to pay your taxes, your heating bill, your electric bill. That is synonymous for what he said. And it drives me nuts to the point where I started a damn YouTube stream to complain about how much of an asshole he is, or at least how much of an asshole he thinks we are. And it's just wrong. Anyway, so that's what I'm here. That's why I'm talking. I'm telling you what these people are doing. And I wrote a post this morning also about politicians in general. Let me flip over to the main screen. There is not a single politician that represents me. I am so far out of the box, too far departed from the norm. Every word out of the mouth of every politician is pandering. I have no faith in government to do the right thing or get anything done efficiently. Now, don't get me wrong. Humanity and life and semantics and speech and communication is extremely complicated. Now, the odds are if I talk to a politician and have a one-on-one, anytime someone's talking to someone, there's an exchange of ideas. There's a connection, and that's the nature of humanity. So, in many regards, this statement is a bit stereotypical. I'm stereotyping politicians, but what do I know from the vantage point that I have is that, stereotypically speaking, government sucks shit. And that's why we talk crypto. That's why we talk crypto. Sven is on fire this morning. Sven is killing it. And what is it? Rudy Havenstein. What an account, Havenstein. He is so on point with his sarcasm. It is so funny. Captain Weber, thanks, man. I love that. I love that. What's going on in the stream? Nathan's in the house. Yes. Mal is here from the West Coast. Always a pleasure. Cheers. Store closed for business and still boarding up. Dude, it's horrible. It's ridiculous. These people are on TV running for political office. I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican. I don't care. People are pissed. And there's basically, the news media could present it however they want. When people are in the streets and there's anger and agitation and much violence, that's not healthy. There's not only just anger issues going on. What's happening? I don't want to. It's literally saying it's a riot is stereotypical. But what you have is a disconnect between persons of political and government communication breakdown. People feel like they're not getting what they want, and there's just basic psychology here. Basically, what I see when I turn on the news for 5 seconds, what do I see? I see, damn, there's some shit going down. This is crazy. So, and I would say probably the biggest problem with politics is nobody talks. Nobody tells it like it is. Maybe they're just all too old. But where is John from down the block, Bill from up the road? We need regular people in politics, but the problem is it's impossible to run for politics. I have no idea to do it. What am I going to fucking Google it? How to run for political office. What are the political offices? And what are the political offices that actually mean anything? Where my voice would make a difference. Where people can actually hear my voice and maybe be inspired. When they actually hear logic and reason and something that actually means something to them. How does all that start? I guess that's how, when they say a political movement starts. The more and more that I talk, I'd be quite interested in doing something like that. Speaking and hopefully having the words that come out of my mouth have meaning to people. Because I think it has meaning to the folks that join me on my stream on a daily basis with regard to cryptocurrency. But I like to apply my logic and reason to everything because cryptocurrency fits into a big fucking picture. A picture of our lives that we deal with on a daily basis with regard to financials, humanitarian issues, responsibilities, frustration, anxiety, pain, anger. We get up every day. I guarantee the vast majority of people get up every day frustrated like, oh, I'm tired. Half the reason people get up like that is because they have no interest in doing what they're about to do. Because I guarantee, it reminds me of my wife who watches my stream, and she's probably going to see this sooner than later. Because every time we're about to go on vacation, and we're going to get on an airplane or go somewhere, bam, she'll be up at 4 in the morning. The crack of dawn, ass crack of dawn, she'll be up at 4 in the morning. And then on a normal day, it's like, oh, good morning. And it's not as easy to get out of bed. But the whole point is, when people are excited to do things, when there's passion and motivation, things get done. So, something's broken in society because I know damn well people are not getting up in the morning excited to get shit done. What was that, a 7-minute monologue? Good morning, everybody. Ascension now, good life to all. Joe says, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Right? And Christopher says, a person is smart, people are stupid. Yes, so I like that statement. I try and avoid this. It's true in many regards. But people can be smart. They just need to break through the individualism and allow the intelligent conversation, communication to spread. And that only starts with leadership. Really, people being smart, the system comes from smart leadership. And when we see the people doing dumb things, when we see the people as a whole Doing dumb things is because the leadership is dumb and they don't have a means of communicating with the individual. And that is a failure of leadership. Man. I mean, isn't it obvious? Leaders pull people together. Leaders don't separate people. They don't segregate people. Leaders bring people together. I'm tired of it not being obvious. To me, it is obvious how to bring people together. Anyway, Charlie's in the house. Always a pleasure. Cryptopher. I can't pronounce it. It's so damn hard. My plan is to move to Las Vegas or Clearwater. Clearwater's cool. Anywhere in Florida is cool. Just make sure you have good elevation because when, and gotta have has to be concrete because of these silly hurricanes. Is it better to have gold miners, or gold streamers? Now you're talking. Get no gold ETFs. No. Miners, streamers. You want the symbol GOLD, Barrick Gold. You want Newmont, NEM. You want Wheaton Precious Metals, WPM. You want Franco-Nevada, FNV. You want gold miners, silver miners, gold streamers, silver streamers. Very important. Yes, you're doing it right, brother. Thank you, Joey. I try. Dave's in the house. My man. Mobs in suburbs waking people up and trying to. What the? No, yeah, it's the beginning of man. This is crazy. It's crazy. I'm angry because. I know I can make a difference and I have no idea how. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me. That makes me think, or at least feel I'm making a difference a little bit. Get our asses taxed to oblivion, Charlie says. Oh my goodness. So we're going to make more money because the value of money is going to go down and they're going to tax us. So there is no solution that I have heard nothing good out of the Democrats or the Republicans playbook. All I hear is very shallow, trivial ideas. Now, here's the biggest problem with politics, man. They don't talk details. They glance it over like a fucking donut. They're like glazing on a donut because they think the general public can't process the technical details. Now, here's the deal. That's probably the case, but you hear the way I speak to people. It's not up to my wife tells me all the time, cater to the audience. I don't agree. The audience should cater to people that are trying to provide detailed, meaningful information. If you don't understand what someone's saying, ask for help. Ask a question. Ask for the statement to be repeated. Ask for the statement to be said another way, such that you're in a better position to understand the complex, detailed information. We don't want to dumb down information. We want the details. We want the complexity. But we need the general public to step up. And when they don't understand the complexity, they need to ask for clarification and more information and repetition, just like I do on my stream. If anyone ever does not understand what I'm saying, do not hesitate for a second and ask me to repeat myself, to clarify what I'm saying. Say it a different way. And that's how I would do shit. That's how I would speak to the people. I'm going to buy some land and put some Airbnbs on them. My man, well, listen, property. The economy can implode and property is still going to have value. So at some point, I hate that reality that the economy implodes, value is going to be destroyed across the board. And out of the ashes, like a phoenix, something gets rebuilt because there's always residual value. And property will be one of the things that always retains value. Everyone always wants property. Tiny homes. You said it. We need people who speak out how it really is. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. I like you because you don't cater to the audience. I try and do both. I want to do both. Everyone always wants to do everything they possibly can. I want to cater to what people are interested in hearing, but I also want to provide information that people need to hear, whether they want to hear it or not. It's a little bit of both, and that's the whole point, and that's the problem with politics. It's not right versus left. We're all people, and we need to cater to everyone and stop thinking about a stupid base. And we just need to be honest, and we need to be detailed, and we got to stop dumbing down the rhetoric. Politicians treat people like they're stupid. Green New Deal. No, give me some goddamn details so I can tell you whether you're an asshole or not. Because I know technology, I know engineering, so there's no politician that talks to me. They get up on stage and they talk about vagaries of ideas. Talk to people like they're smart, and people will treat the politicians with respect. It's just so wrong. Thank you, Julian. You're right. You want to know why the state of the country is where we're at? Everything rises and falls on the leaders. It's all failed leadership. People, I keep venting. 12:15. This is all, we are in the state we are in because of failed leadership. Period. And that has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans. I have no patience or interest, or I have no more energy to talk about political parties. I don't care what. And then you get into like independence, like a person says, I'm an independent because they don't like Republicans or Democrats. And I'm like, no, that means you're still affiliating with a group. Stop affiliating with groups and affiliate with intelligence. Affiliate with ideas and better lives, because it doesn't take a political party to know that people want more money, but people don't even really want more money. What people want is a better life. And now we're talking about psychology and the way that's we're talking about psychology. And if you talk psychology, you'll eventually get through to people, because everyone understands the notion of being happy, having more, working less, working better, working more efficiently, spending more time with family, being healthier, having doctors, whatever. It's complicated. Getting me talk politics on a crypto channel. Shit. Thanks for not selling out to Patreon paywall. No, I'm going to do this on YouTube, guys. Man, sure, there's the advertising that'll eventually come after I get another couple hundred viewers. It'll probably start. We'll have that like super chat type thing. But that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be open. And I'm not paywall. I'm not doing no paywall. Only 18,000 people were watching that Powell address. The state of financial education in this country is broken. People literally know nothing other than fiat. Do you know what that means? That those are the people at the most risk. Those people literally need help. They're wrong, and I feel bad. Like I could almost shed a tear for how in danger they are. Because what Jerome Powell just said was he's going to, if they have any money in a bank account, Jerome Powell is literally going to attack it and devalue it. Because the Chapwood Index, I've literally put nothing on the screen for you guys. Chapwood Index indicates the truth of inflation. And we have very meaningful inflation. I mean, this is how much real shit costs this year as compared to last year. Now, the Federal Reserve doesn't measure this. They measure something that's useless relative to you or I. So you have any idea what these numbers are going to say in 2021, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, if you know nothing other than fiat, you are in danger. It is a problem. And I'm sorry. All I could do is talk. And I hope people hear what I say and how to protect themselves and their family. And you don't have to do this shit to protect yourselves and your family. You don't have to put up stock charts, and you don't have to do any of this. Where's I want to see Bangor. Bangor hasn't broken down yet. How's Lend? Lend's still above the 200 EMA on the 30-minute. Lend is absolutely crazy. So you don't have to do this to protect your family. You don't have to get technical. But this is where the questions come in. You have to ask me, how do you look at the fundamentals. What are these projects? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? How are they doing it? What system are they participating in? What services are they providing? How are they going to change our daily lives? Because everything that I look at it because I see how it's going to fit into my life and change my life for the better. And frankly, change everyone's life for the better. It's going to make a massive difference. Being able to instantaneously convert one value into another. And that's what these AMMs do. And the general public can participate and get revenue, which is somewhat of a social opportunity. So there's value in social opportunities. The problem is pretty much what the government's trying to do and print money and give it away because that destroys productivity. And if you destroy productivity and print money, the combination is going to produce devastating inflation, devaluation. Anyway, Charlie G, education in general. Script says, I am going to record Noah and hand it over to the anonymous so everyone can hear it on the 6 o'clock news. Listen, you don't even have to record me because I'm on YouTube, my man. And I don't care. Listen, maybe, hopefully, someday someone will hear me speak vis-a-vis the YouTube channel and will ask me to speak. Because that's all I want to do is speak. And I hope that the way I speak is potentially useful. Because maybe someone somewhere will think that I have a capacity to convey information in a reasonable and digestible way. Use me for the way I speak. Somebody. Please. Politics want to make people depend on them. Yeah, whatever. Politicians are a bunch of... It's complicated. It's complicated. I know you want us to do our own research, and I do, but there's a level at which I get completely lost. But that's, my man, ask the questions. It's all good. I myself am lost over many things. I don't fully understand Polkadot and the relay chain as compared to the parent chains as much as I want to. So bear in mind, listen, I know this is so important what you just said. I get lost. Everyone gets lost. There's people that are smarter than me. And the way we grow as a society and the way we grow as people is to not stop asking questions. We have to get over our anxiety and I don't want to say self-esteem, but it's just get over the anxiety. Don't ask questions no matter what. It doesn't matter how many times you ask a question. It doesn't matter if you get annoying asking a question because it is your responsibility. It is your American right to get an answer to your fucking question. Your God-given right to get an answer to your question, even if you've asked it 100 times. Because it is your right and frankly your obligation to understand. Spend all the effort you can to understand as much as you can so you can digest this world. Understand the way this world works. And try and think of a bigger picture. And when you start seeing the bigger picture, let's say this is the picture you're starting to see, and then you see politics, and then you see the U.S. and China and crypto, and you start to have these compartmentalized pieces, part of the bigger picture. Then you start to have perspective. Because when your perspective is out here and you're seeing little tiny pieces, part of the bigger picture, and that perspective gives you power. Because that's the 20,000 foot view. That's the bird's eye view. That's the bird's eye view, ladies and gentlemen. So I have a little bit. Anyone who says they know everything is wrong. Anyone who says things for certain are wrong. Because all we are is trying always to better our understanding of the things we deal with on a daily basis. We're all in the same struggle. No matter if you have a PhD from Princeton or an autistic savant and you're a genius, all trying to do the same thing. Get more answers to more questions, just like Christopher says. We're all looking for answers. Hit them like a people, Charlie says. You're damn right. Treat people with respect. And frankly, when I hear a politician talk to me like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, I find it just disrespectful. It's just treating me like, I find it just simply disrespectful. And that is just such a turnoff. Don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. Tell me what you're doing Why you're doing it, how you're doing it. Tell me your thought process. Like when I do interviews for work, like when you interview for Google, Facebook, and a lot of companies nowadays, over the last couple of years, things have changed. Um, they're not asking you for answers to a question. They're asking you questions so they can get a sense of your thought process. And that's the way politicians really need to think. They need to try and get into the heads of people and understand how they think, why they think, and instead of just trying to deliver a message to convince them of something. That's the flaw. That's the failure. Politicians are trying to convince people of ideas, trying to gain popular vote, popular opinion, support, when that should just come naturally because the politician is honest and just trying to educate. What I want is a damn politician that's an educator. Will we ever get it? Spank, Mr. Monkey. No bull runs in Fiat. There ain't no bull runs in Fiat. Uh, there is no bull runs in Fiat. You goddamn right there's no bull runs in Fiat. Listen, I'll go over on time today. Having fun talking as always. So let's talk a little bit about crypto. 25 minutes in and we're going to start talking about crypto. Um, C47 Force, is it possible for a transaction to become corrupted and propagate through the blockchain and destroy the coin? No. It just won't execute. It won't process. Well, and a coin, if you're talking about like a UTXO blockchain, no, because it has to be valid. This is going nowhere. The only way crypto is going anywhere is a large scale quantum computing dissemination. There's nothing on the horizon that's going to disrupt what's going on. Period. That's it. Best time to buy dips. Best time to buy dips. Listen, here's some big deal. Here's some big picture type stuff. The most important thing to do is always to be accumulating Bitcoin. That's risk off. In the traditional finance world, there's risk on and risk off depending on the status of the financial system and the market cycles. Um, I think we're heading into somewhat of a should be thinking to reduce your risk and take gains off the table. So your gains, there's a couple of different ways to get gains. I mean, you could do leveraged positions in Bitcoin and Ethereum. DYDX.exchange is a great way to do leveraged positions in a decentralized way directly from your ledger. Leverage positions on Ethereum, and they obviously offer the perpetuals for Bitcoin, which is outside of the continental US, because everything in the US is difficult, if not impossible, to do from a regulation perspective. So you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x longs and shorts on Ethereum, which is cool. That means you don't have, because traditionally, or everyone in the channel is thinking, I'm going to buy an alt asset to get gains so I could increase the value that I have. Everything is all about which is increasing or decreasing in value more or less. And this all started because we were talking about there's no bull runs in fiat. There are times when the dollar is increasing in value relative to lend. Check this out. When this goes down, it's worth less dollars. Therefore, the dollars are worth more. So it's all relative, and this is where the damn psychology comes in and it'll really drive you nutty. So in the end, what do we know? We know that we have a way to accumulate more value by placing value in assets that are volatile. Um, so when you go into more volatile assets, you have more risk, more reward. Now you're in altcoins, you're in even this is Lend, Bankcoin, but then you got the garbage that's on Uniswap, and you got stuff that's just like there's nothing. It's literally a shell game, and man, you can make a lot of money in an asset that's completely worthless, has no utility, and was just produced to trade. But there's going to be nothing long term, no long term value, and eventually get destroyed. So there you go. There's something that'll get destroyed. those assets on Uniswap that are created out of thin air. Pizza coin, taco tokens, sushi coin. They'll have no value at some point. Um, so when you're going risk reward and you're skewed towards risk, it's because you want gain. So obviously I'm playing risk, greater risk with a greater reward. I'm in Lend. Still have a position in Bancor. It's very small because I exited right here when I thought it was going to break down, and I'm not going to get back in. I'm not buying in for a loss. I have a long-term position. You can't always own what you want to own. And I'm getting tired at this point. For the last couple of months, I've been trading, trying to buy low, sell high, maximize my gains. And I'm tired at this point. So I've started to exit or trim like a chipmunk. I've started to trim my positions. SB in the house. It's all good. Don't worry that you're late. I'm going to go over a little bit. Didn't miss anything in the chat. So I've started to trim my positions into Bitcoin. I'm not accumulating too much Ethereum right now. I have my position in Ethereum, and it's a nice number, but I don't think I want to go above it. And this is just me. And I think a lot of people out there would say to accumulate maybe Ethereum over Bitcoin. But for me, there's too many mega bulls that are really. It's not about Bitcoin maximalism. It's about regulation. It's about the powers that be, the status quo, oligarchs, the old money, and I don't think they're going to accept a lot of things right away. And what do I mean by that? I think Bitcoin has the only reasonable chance of being accepted by traditional finance in the relative short term, at minimum. That's because of risk reward. Bitcoin at this point has proven to be the most stable of the crypto assets. Even though it's volatile, relative, everything is relative. It's substantially more volatile as compared to traditional financial assets. But is that the case? With the traditional financial assets, equities, NASDAQ going through the roof, that's volatility. So just because something's going up doesn't mean it's not volatile. And what does volatility introduce? Uncertainty. What goes up must come down. What goes down is a buying opportunity. So we want volatility, but we don't want to hold assets that are volatile. We want to hold assets that are stable. Now, here's an interesting one. If NASDAQ is going through the roof, let's say if Apple has just doubled, tripled, quadrupled in price, that means the value of the dollar relative to Apple is decreasing. The purchasing power of the dollar has decreased. And now takes twice as many dollars to buy an Apple share. It's like going to the supermarket. It takes twice as much money to buy a loaf of bread, or twice as much money to buy a gallon of milk. So the same applies to a stock. It's something that you could purchase with dollars. So the point is, the dollar is freaking volatile. That is a seriously volatile asset. And people walk around looking at their bank account saying, I got $10. It doesn't go up or down, it's $10. But they're not thinking from that big picture that's so important. That's not $10. You don't give a shit that it's $10. You don't care that you have $10. The banks are manipulative. What they should give you is a little line in your bank account that says purchasing power. Because I guarantee you don't give a shit how much money you have. Not a person in this stream cares how much money they have. What you care is how much shit you can buy with your money. So what I want from every bank in this godforsaken country is a little line on my bank portal, my app on my phone that says purchasing power. And you can put a little hide button next to the dollars. Because I don't care how many dollars I have. I want to know how much I can buy. And this is where the Chapwood Index comes in. Because every damn year I could buy less and less and less. And you can only imagine what this is going to say next year and the year after printing $6 trillion. So dollars are seriously volatile. People selling stuff to accumulate dollars. There ain't no bull runs in dollars, ladies and gentlemen. The stablest asset, and I think there will be, in hindsight, much talk and much discussion about what Bitcoin has been doing, at least during the vast majority of this financial crisis. It is extremely stable. Stable, probably relative to the dollar and relative to other crypto assets, relative to equities. Gold has been relatively stable. So those are the charts you really got to look at. So not that, you know, you have to look at charts, but data is everything. Data is everything. And I'm gonna start to wrap this up, and I'm gonna look at some of the charts with you guys. But with a subscription to TradingView, you could do gold versus Bitcoin, gold versus probably Ren, and it just does the mathematical calculation to produce the chart. And what I think we'll find is that gold and Bitcoin are increasing in value relative to almost all other assets. And this comes down to really like financial monetary theory. Hard money assets. Hard money assets are going to appreciate relative to assets that have non-fixed or non-limited supplies that are inflationary. Hard money assets are everything. Everything that's meaningful about protecting your damn gains and protecting your wealth. So the whole point is that is why I'm doing what I'm doing and stacking sats. And I'm not necessarily stacking Ethereum, even though I'm extremely bullish on it. I have my position, and I think it's going to appreciate faster than Bitcoin, which means it's more volatile, which means there's more risk, more reward, but which means also in a case of an event, that volatility quickly turns the direction you don't want it to turn. And that's why if you go too far into alt assets, and dare I say those assets on Uniswap, they'll turn like the day before yesterday, they turn on people real quick. You'll get 30, 40, 50% drawdowns on garbage. Everyone will run to the door real quick to protect their gains. So you might as well start protecting your gains as early as possible. Because look, Adam's pulling back. This chart is serious bullishness. I love it. It's gorgeous. I have the entirety of my Adam position, predominantly because there's no decentralized way to exit my position. So that discourages me from exiting my position. I love Atom. I think Cosmos, especially as they start working with the IBC and the Stargate upgrade, and we've seen some Twitter talk about them integrating with Substrate, which is basically the blockchain stack that is going to is being used to build blockchains that are going to get parachain slots on Kusama and Polkadot. So we're talking about real deal cross-chain interoperability in the near future between Cosmos, Polkadot, Kusama, and Ethereum, facilitated by technology like Ren, Blocknet, StakeNet, and obviously the respective technology on the ecosystem platforms of Akala on Polkadot. They got a substrate blockchain ready to go. They're going to deploy it sooner than later to Kusama, and that'll prove that they're worthy of one of the limited parachain slots on Polkadot. And that is a big deal. So those are the assets on Polkadot that I'm interested on. Here. Check it out. These are the assets that I have interest on in Polkadot. Well, they're not the top two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 assets. Meanwhile, look how many projects are being built on Polkadot. 199 projects. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, finally getting into crypto, and I'm 7 minutes overdue to end the stream. So this is exactly why Polkadot is where it is now. Bitcoin Cash popped over it by $1 million. $1 million. There's no reason Polkadot shouldn't be number three. There's 100. EOS, Tezos, Cardano has nothing. Even Cosmos. This Elrond or whatever you want, any ecosystem platform you want to talk about, there is nothing like this. Nothing. And and then there's the best of the best of the projects being built on Polkadot, which you'll find on Subscan, because these are the projects that you could potentially have a piece of. Because these are the boys who are building blockchains where the relay chain on Polkadot is going to provide the consensus mechanism or the security mechanism. So you could hold these assets. Now, a lot of these projects are probably going to be technology that's using Polkadot in some way or form. I don't fully understand how to own a piece of it. Like I know this Ken is an ERC20. What does that mean? But ERC20 is an Ethereum asset. So what does that mean with regard to Polkadot? I don't know. And it's not obvious. What does that mean with regard to Polkadot? Sora. This is the asset that's up like 12 bajillion percent. And this is related. Sora is building out Polka Swap, which is the DEX, the Polkadot DEX. So there's so much going on, and even myself, I don't fully understand everything Mantra DAO. I don't know what it does. I've looked at GitHub, and to me, I don't know what it does. Where's Substrate? Where's a blockchain? I don't fully understand Rio chain, and I don't want to FUD too much on it. But this means nothing to me. This project is their token, is their ERC20 asset, and that doesn't mean anything to me. JavaScript, so that the JavaScript would be what, Web3, a DApp of some kind, and Rio chain. I have to understand. So maybe. So look, this looks like an interop. Rio DeFi is the blockchain. So I don't know. I'd have to look more into it. But so here's the deal. This is the deal you'd have to understand. What is the relationship between Rio chain and an ERC20 token? Because you're buying an ERC20 token. Why is the value going to go up? Is the value going to go up merely because the token is getting listed on exchanges? Because people speculating? That is the last reason you should be buying assets. Ladies and gentlemen, don't buy assets because you're speculating. That's how you lose freaking money. You buy an asset because it has a big picture narrative. There's a story to be told about what the asset is going to do, why it's going to do it, how it's going to do it. There's a story of a future that the asset is going to make a difference and is going to disrupt a legacy financial system or be part of DeFi in some incredible way. Now, I don't see anything in the literature because I read the white paper for Mantra DAO, and I don't see anything here about how an ERC20 token fits into the big picture. So now I'm very welcome to anyone on the channel who's welcome to find out. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm very welcome, Mantra DAO, to hit me up on Twitter and tell me what is the significance of an ERC20 token in the products and services they're going to build. What is the relationship between it and Rio chain? What is the significance of it? So right now it seems extremely, extremely speculative to me, as compared to these assets that are actually real substrate blockchain assets. Like, this is no confusion whatsoever that these are real deal Polkadot assets that have significant meaning in the future of the Polkadot platform. Anyway, let's take a look at the comments. I obviously missed a lot. I've been talking. Great stream, Noah. Cheers, Charlie. Always a pleasure. Captain Weber says Dot flipped link last night, so don't worry, it'll be number 3 sooner or later. When is circulating supply of DOT going to be known? Hard to value DOT now. I don't know. If you go to Polkadot, isn't it known? Bear in mind it's a proof of stake, so it's inflationary. So there's 984 million assets. Looks pretty known to me, James. My man. People taking profits, 15% down. But here's the bottom line. Proof of stake. Proof of stake is an inflationary protocol. And F 2.0, I hear, is going to have maybe a burn component. Transaction fees will burn, so they're going to try and compensate for that inflationary pressure. Now, no doubt, so that's the deal. That's the bottom line. Understand those properties and parameters of the asset you're getting involved with. Inflation, deflation, monetary properties, circulating supply is just one part of it. Is one part. You want to understand, is it proof of stake? What is the emissions? What kind of emissions? Proof of work, what kind of emissions? Are the decaying emissions? Because frankly, Bitcoin is a decaying inflationary asset. The inflation rate, the emissions get smaller every 4 years. Digibyte is an decaying inflationary asset. The emissions are continuously getting smaller because Digibyte has the optimal proof of work Bitcoin protocol. Oh, what is James? What is CoinMarketCap? Were they bought by Binance? Isn't Binance out of business? Go on CoinGecko. I don't do anything CoinMarketCap, and I have no interest in Binance. I'm surprised they're actually still relevant, and they won't be as the DEXs really start to pick up. Frankly, we are on the verge of a centralized exchange disruption as obviously all this DeFi stuff that deals with ERC20s and Ethereum merges with Cosmos dexes, merges with Polkadot dexes, merges with UTXO atomic swap platforms like Blocknet and StakeNet, all into one single user interface. Could you imagine going to a web page, seeing an interface like Uniswap, which is quite forkable, by the way, and you put anything you want here and something else here, and it doesn't matter what asset it is, and all that matters is it's on your ledger. That is the future. This is where we're heading right here. You get the best exchange possible from liquidity pools, and people, you and me, are providing the liquidity, disrupting the banking system, providing loans and lending on Aave. Absolutely incredible what's going on. Always a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. 12:45 on a Thursday afternoon, August 27th. Guess what? We're done for today, but I look forward to tomorrow because I'm not done talking. We got more to talk about. I thank you all very much for joining me, and I look forward to talking more tomorrow. You all have a good day now. Peace.